Another AEW wrestler is gone from the company, but there's some very interesting stuff within the agreements and the contracts that were offered in this situation, so I can't wait to talk about that. Also, Ric Flair's return, we're going to talk about that again because goodness gracious, we got an update on it. And then, of course, some really good news for AEW and WWE. Honestly, I'm really excited to talk about that. As you guys know, I love TV deals and advertising stuff. So we're going to talk about it all in today's video. Guys, let's kick things off with Ric Flair. You know, I gave you guys my opinions before. And if you guys watched that last video where I talked about it, I said I was not a fan of it. Well, now Ric Flair has confirmed to Mark Raimondi from ESPN that his last match will in fact take place on July 31st at Nashville Fairgrounds at 6:05 p.m. on Fight TV. Now, here's the thing. In my previous video where I talked about the rumors of him returning, I was very against it. And guess what? I know this is not going to be a shocker. I'm still against it. That's not going to change. Whether or not Ric Flair is taking bumps, whether or not he's actually wrestling, or if he's just going to sit there and look pretty, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is, but just leave it alone. That's how I feel. My opinion won't change. I don't know why the promoter here would even book it, but hey, it is what it is, man. You can't, I don't know. I feel like I feel like maybe 90% of my timeline are people who are against this, and that's a lot of people. So if a lot of people are against this, obviously I'm not the only one. You can agree, you could disagree, but if you want to watch 70-year-old plus people wrestle in the ring when they're unhealthy, it just doesn't make sense in my opinion. Good luck to Ric Flair. Hopefully everything goes well. I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea, you know, from a wrestling fan perspective to be interested in this. You know, I don't know. I just can't see, bro, we want the youth. We want new stars. We want this. And all of a sudden wrestling fans want Ric Flair to wrestle again. I don't know why, but that's just strange to me. It is what it is. I can't change your mind if you are 100% sold on Ric Flair returning, but it's just not for me. All right, guys, I want to talk about WWE and AEW because apparently WWE and AEW are going to be presented as sports shows to advertisers at network upfront meetings. Now, the upfront meetings for networks are really great. It's a great idea for people who are creating content to connect with advertisers, kind of give them a presentation of what their product is all about and their revenue and demographics and all of these different things. WWE and AEW are being presented as sports, which if anybody knows anything about advertising revenue, sports get paid more. WWE it's also very interesting because WWE, and I think everybody has pointed this out, for years and years and years, WWE has always referred to as sports entertainment, but now that doesn't appear to be the case because they're going to be presenting themselves as sports. Well, the good thing is, if they are being presented as sports, not only does that mean potentially more money, but it also means, in my opinion, that they will be considered a higher priority for those networks. Now, it's obviously very clear NBC and Fox prioritize WWE programming. It's also very clear that Warner Media prioritizes AEW. If you're watching the NBA playoffs, they're promoting AEW, which is a really good sign. But one of the biggest things that I've personally looked into, and I think this is something that a lot of people are overlooking, and this is why it's also a great thing for AEW, if you look at the breakdown for Discovery and Warner Media and their priorities, AEW being listed as a sport, basically, in my opinion, the way I'm looking at it, tells me that Discovery and Warner Media have big plans to continue the production of AEW at a high level. We're on the similar scale as like NBA and NHL, right? When you see these sports being broadcasted and they're a big deal, there's a lot of advertising for it. There's a lot of investment there. That's where I see AEW falling into that category, which is very important for the future of AEW to have a television partner who continues to back them. With the guy that was running Warner Media that put that agreement together, he's no longer there at Discovery. And with him being gone, with that CEO being gone, a lot of people were questioning, what does this mean for AEW? So with them being presented as sports to advertisers, that's a good sign that AEW and WWE are in good hands. Now, with that being said, I do want to turn our attention to another topic in this video, and that is an AEW wrestler is leaving the company. And look, this has been something I've been thinking about for a minute now because I'm incredibly interested in contract scenarios such as this one. So if you guys don't know who Kayla Rossi is, maybe you don't watch AEW Dark and whatnot, but Kayla Rossi was basically one of the independent talent that was working with AEW. You may have seen her alongside Joey Janela as well. But the idea here is that WWE and AEW, they have a very different strategy when it comes to developmental contracts. Because Fightful Select had reported that Rossi is done with the company, and it has been done for a while prior to Joey Janela's contract expiring. They basically decided to go their separate ways, and she was never signed to a full-time deal. However, sources noted that she was offered a trainee contract, but ultimately passed on the deal, which resulted in both parties going their separate ways. So what does this mean? A trainee contract. We've never heard of this before. I like this, actually, because AEW, Tony Khan said it himself verbally in interviews that they have a different strategy from WWE. They're not developing talent. They're not developing contracts and stuff like that. What they are doing is they are recruiting, experienced wrestlers. So the fact that we've never really heard publicly about these trainee contracts, it's very interesting to me. One, why did she turn it down? But two, what is entailed with this training contract? It's not like AEW has a training facility or anything like that. So I'm very intrigued here. As far as Kayla Rossi leaving, I mean, look, she could have a million reasons as to why she's not going to be there. This is not detrimental to AEW's business whatsoever. There's other people that were mainstays on AEW Dark for a very long time, and those people ended up leaving. I think everybody remembers Pineapple Pete. That was a very notable name that had left. But I think at the same time, too, if you're AEW and you're offering these trainee contracts and people are turning them down, then it could be a problem, right? But right now, I mean, this is the first that we've heard of it. Again, as to why she turned it down or whatever it may be, I don't know. Now, the real question is Kayla Rossi going to be sticking around in wrestling? Is WWE an option? NXT? She obviously has the bodybuilding background. I think WWE could... I can't speak for WWE here, but I could see WWE very well being interested as well. WWE has looked at AEW dark talents, as an opportunity to bring them into NXT. Fallon Henley in NXT was on AEW Dark multiple times. So just, food for thought. It's a very interesting situation here, but Kayla Rossi is gone. Again, it's not going to hurt AEW, but the contract scenario surrounding it is very interesting, and it's going to be something to pay attention to. It's not something that we hear about often. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time right here on youtube.com/AngleYT. Don't forget, check out the Discord and all the links in the description, and I will see you next time right here on the channel.